I-V-M.
It's raining festivals in India. After big days like Raksha Bandhan and our 75th Independence Day, now it's time to celebrate the innocence and bravery of Lord Krishna with Janmashtami. Today, in A Sip of Finance, we shall be highlighting further health insurance concepts, and that too with the yummy makhan of Janmashtami for you. Welcome to A Sip of Finance podcast by Priyanka Acharya. I'm your host Shanali, and this is a lady special podcast that will help you get better with your finances. Conceptualized by Priyanka Acharya, a financial consultant who simplifies a lot of financial jargon for you. She comes with 14 plus years of experience in this field and has helped many grow their money. So, you can now learn simple finance not just in English but in 7 other languages. Let's get started. Insurance. Too dry. Too boring. That's what I listen to every day. So long-term, so non-rewarding. But A Sip of Finance is specially curated to help you understand finance, not as a complicated subject, but as just a way of life. So today, we will utilize your basic understanding of Janmashtami to understand health insurance further. We shall talk about 3 big words: comprehensive, no claim bonus, exclusions. No, don't get overwhelmed. Just keep that little innocent Krishna in mind and enjoy this episode. 1. If you recall the formation of a dahi handi, do you ever see a not-so-muscular person standing at the base of their pyramid? 10 friends climb over and try to balance, putting all their weight on the poor thing. Then 15 people over these 10 and so on. Will that poor fellow bear the weight? No way. The base has to be stronger as the number of people reduces in the pyramid towards the tip. Now with this dahi handi pyramid, learn the arrangement of your financial portfolio. Naturally, our family priority is also the makhan chor, the topmost in the pyramid. We run after the high return probability instruments, which is absolutely nothing wrong. But let us understand that base of a financial pyramid is emergency and security provision. That's insurance. And health insurance is one of the most crucial aspects here. If our pyramid doesn't have this foundation, we will never get the makhan because we will never sustain the weight in these situations. To widen our base, we have to be conscious that health insurance can't be just a lame policy either bought for obliging a known agent or for tax saving, or just because everybody is speaking about it after the pandemic. Check for 4 most important things: regular health insurance upgraded as per lifestyle improvements, accidental health insurance which ensures hospitalization as well as a provision of monthly income in your healing months. Yes, based on ITR, your health insurance pays your salary for those bed rest months if needed. Critical illness. Many critical illnesses involve treatments and not really a complete hospitalization. Since the process is different, the insurance is also different. Comprehensive. These days, companies have launched what they call comprehensive plans to ensure most of the ailments are taken care of. Carefully check whatever is missing in your regular policies and the covers provided by these policies. Remember, not just shares. Our health insurance too needs a portfolio, not a single policy. In A Sip of Finance, we don't just wish to give you loads of knowledge and leave you wondering. We want you to implement these small sips of finance and make your financial life colorful. So let me tell you what happened when I shared these 4 points once with a friend. He said, "What nonsense! 4 policies. One is also heavy for me. And what do I get? Nothing." So I said, it is insurance, but your premium doesn't go waste, right? If you're healthy all year, you may feel, How can I keep wasting money on premiums every year? But you can get a no-claim bonus every year. And my dear friend was agitated and felt cheated. The company hasn't credited even 1 rupee in my account all these years, he said. No claim bonus is not credited to you. It is added to your insurance coverage. It's a way to improve your coverage sip by sip every year. And one more significant thing. Please check your policy for something called exclusions. Now, my son just got his midterm exam results. He had scored around 12 to 13 on 20 in most of the subjects and 19 on 20 in computer. Obviously, he declared his results saying, "Mama, I scored 19 in computer." Same ways, a company would obviously share the best benefits in the ads and explanations. But please check if your plan, your sum insured, and your policy will have which of these as exclusions. When the claim comes, it will be no use crying over spilt milk. Instead, read your policy clearly for these optional benefits and understand clearly. Insurance is never a burden, friends. It is a priority, a base of our financial building. Let's strengthen it. Let's secure ourselves and let's enjoy the joys of life sip by sip. That's a wrap on this episode of A Sip of Finance podcast. We will see you in the coming week. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this podcast helpful, do give us a shout out on social media and tag us. It will help us empower more people. If you want to reach out to Priyanka, she is available on Instagram at Priyanka U Acharya and on LinkedIn as Priyanka Acharya. You can listen to this podcast on the IVM Podcasts app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts. Do follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. See you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to A Sip of Finance by Priyanka Acharya.
Hello, everybody. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On the Habit Coach, Ashton explains the meaning of red flags in relationships and the fears developing around them. On the Filter Coffee podcast, Karthik talks to Nishta Nitya, mission head at the UN, about the intricacies of gender equality and the essential change in societal outlook towards women. On the Ideas Project, this is an exciting new show you should check out if you haven't yet. Anupam interacts with Swarup Mohanty, who is the CEO at Mirai Assets, and Deepak Shenoy, who is the CEO of Capital Mind. They discuss the ongoing savings disruptions in the Indian markets. On Cock and Bull, Cyrus, Kajol, Vineet, and Shreyas discuss their Independence Day celebrations. I dropped into this episode for a short time as well. And on All Things Policy, the Takshashila folk discuss the twists and turns in Delhi's excise policy. Once again, I'd like to remind you all, please do check out our merch. It's available on IVM Podcast website. Go click the shop tab and you'll be able to see our first collections of t-shirts. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Remember, we got a bunch of YouTube channels as well. And if you want to check that out, go to our website, ivmpodcast.com/YouTube. We have a list of all those channels. And remember, do tell a friend if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter. Word of mouth is one of the most important and best ways for us to get the word out about this podcast. Also, it's a way for you to have discussions about a podcast with your friends. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Boat Lifestyle, Checkpoint Software, Small Case, and Intel vPro. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Are you looking for finance products and services that can enhance your personal finance experience? Are you looking for a space to talk about your financial product or service? And are you looking for a crisp talk show where the conversation is all about money? Well, your search ends here. Hi, my name is Anupam Gupta and I'm host of the Paisa Vaisa podcast, and I invite you for the conversation about your personal finance on each Monday on the IVM Podcast app or the website or on any podcast streaming platforms. See you folks.